And the way that Facebook works is it spends your money regardless. If you boost a post, it's going to spend it. Because what it's looking at, you haven't told it what it needs to do, so it'll go out and it'll start spending your money and go, oh, well, people like it, people have shared it, people have commented on it, and it'll start spending your money. But what you need to do with your advertising is then, well, what is it you want from the advert? Is it the fact that you want people to engage with it, or do you actually want it to be traffic? Do you want to take them to a website? Do you want to take them to like a particular landing page, which might be your website that you create for your business where they can do ordering? Or is it the case that you want them to actually take a call to action there on the page and, you know, phone your office that way? Because what happens is if you have a budget, and it's like we talked about earlier, you could go and just spend £10 a day and start getting coverage of people knowing who you are. Also, not only who you are, but looking at what products it is you sell. And then with that, then you can then use that and expand it and then start getting people coming to you and then calling you rather than just word of mouth. And start positioning yourself. Because this is how Facebook works. So let's say you chose an audience, and it's so important that you choose your audience because you can choose the age, you can choose the location of where they live, and you can start drilling down at the interests. Now, what you need to start with is getting a Facebook ad manager account. And that is where you're able to create your advertisement more detailed. So with that, then you've got more options of the interests of people. You can even put in, so if you started to collect emails from the people who have bought from you, or even just information of that sort, you can upload that into Facebook called a custom audience, and Facebook will go looking for people who have already bought from you. And what it does, it starts looking at what did these people have in common, and it'll start searching for them, which is an amazing tool because normally what you had to do was just put an advert out and then just hope that some people wanted it. But now you can actually start looking for people who are like the people who previously bought from you. So that means they're more likely to buy. And what Facebook does, so if you had like £10 that you were spending per day, and you put in, because when you start doing your selections, Facebook will choose an audience for you and it'll say, okay, from that location, from this age range, from these interests, you know, these are the people that are available for you to advertise it to. And it will then give you like an audience to look at. And let's just say that it give you an audience of like, let's say 1 million. It wouldn't obviously be that in your local area, but let's just say that it did that. And then what it do is it starts spending this £10 per day. So it'll start spending you £10 on a chunk of the audience. It can't obviously spend the £10 on all of those people because it's not enough. So it'll start to come and spend your money. And it'll say, all right, from that £10, let's say 20 people clicked on it and went to a website first, you know, so to speak. So that was, you know, so then it'll say, okay. Now what is so good about Facebook is it wouldn't just, as it starts to learn, it's a learning machine, it won't just go and spend your money and then go, okay, let's go and spend another £10 here on just a chunk of audience. What it does is it looks at these 20 people and it'll say, okay, out of the 20 people that actually took action or clicked on it or engaged in it, let's go and find what was common with them people. Was it their age? Was it the look? You know what I mean? Yeah. What is the thing that was similar with them? And then it will go looking in the whole audience and saying, all of these people are similar to these people. And then it will go and spend the £10 on people who clicked previously, like that.
Yeah.
And then again, you'll usually get a better result. Might get 21 people, so it'll say, okay, out of these people, what was in common? And then it'll go spending it. Now it will do that and start spending your money. And each time, because it's refining and learning about who are the people that engage with it, who are the people who want what you've got, it'll go looking for them rather than just going, there's an advert, everybody look at it. Starts finding the real target audience. Now what ends up happening is Facebook goes around and around and it'll start spending this, and eventually, if you think of this here, going each day spending you £10, getting you more and more interaction, getting you more and more clicks to your website, whatever that is, your landing page. Eventually it's going to exhaust all of this audience. Imagine that, you know, it's spending and spending, so this all then gets exhausted. And this is where people go wrong with Facebook and they say it doesn't work. Because what ends up happening is, your job when you start advertising on Facebook is, you want your £10, every time it's spent, to get you better results, don't you? Mm-hmm. You want to be bringing down You want to be getting more people clicking or going and taking action with your £10, because if it doesn't happen that way, what ends up happening is people say, I've used Facebook, but it's not for me, it doesn't work. It used to, it doesn't anymore. And what is actually happening is Facebook still works. But what they've done is they've chosen an audience and they've set the budget and then they've left it. So what happens is Facebook keeps going, spending the £10 on these chunks of audiences, and it'll keep doing it and exhaust the whole audience. Now eventually, the reason people say that the Facebook advertisement doesn't work and that they're spending the money but getting less interactions or not as many people to the website is because every time Facebook then spends £10, and let's say it's spent £10 right across this whole audience now, everybody in this audience has seen it. Then when it starts to have to go back again, showing the same advert to the same audience, so let's say it's showed this advert twice to this audience, twice to this one, 3 times, 4 times to this audience, 5 times, and so on, Facebook won't stop spending the £10. But what ends up happening, because Facebook is a platform that likes new information, it's more about the user's experience. Now think about you as a Facebook user. If you're going on Facebook and you had ads on there all the time and it was the same ad, is that going to spoil the experience? Over time you're just going to look and go, this is boring, same stuff, nothing new. So the more that something gets shown to somebody more than 1, 2 times, Facebook then says you're starting to affect the user's experience on the platform. So what it starts to do is charge you more for showing that to the people. And this is where people get it wrong, because they set a budget, they choose an audience, and then they leave it to run. They exhaust the audience, they use it all, and then they just keep it running. And as they keep it running, they get less results for the budget that they had, and then they eventually think it's not working. When the actual case is it did work. They just didn't know how Facebook worked. And if they didn't know how Facebook worked, they didn't know what they needed to do. So what you really needed to do was then come from here, when they started to go over showing more than once to somebody, looking at the data in the ad manager account, it'll show them, what's happening in the background. They would then just need to go and create an audience. And the beauty of it is, they could actually look at the audiences that were working and then just try to choose a new audience and put new selections in it, as in interest. Or they could just go and create a new audience, again, let's say 1 million people, of a lookalike audience, and say, out of these people who engaged here, I want you to go and find me more of those people that look like them people. And what Facebook does, it starts spending its £10 again. And again, the actual results from that £10 go up again. And that's why Facebook is great, because it's if you think about Facebook, there's 1 million users use it per day. That's huge. And the average user is on it for 40 minutes a day. So if you're able to know how Facebook uses your money and markets it, you're then able to ensure that your £10 per day gets spent the correct way, and you're able to build people engaging with your post and also clicking off Facebook to your website or to your landing page or wherever you want them to go to eventually become a customer.